Okay, let's go through the basics of the ItunesU workshop that was recently held at Leongatha Secondary College. We had our presenter Cass, who led us through the basics of accessing a course as a student and setting up a course as a teacher or instructor. So let's get into the details of what Cass presented to us. Okay, forgive me while I just get rid of a few things here. Okay, Cass started with taking us on our iOS devices, our iPhones or iPads, to the ItunesU app, which some of us had and some of us had to download. And when we got to the ItunesU app, we negotiated to the catalogue by toggling from the library to the catalogue up here in the left-hand top corner. And then by scrolling down to the bottom of the catalogue, we were able to access the Enroll button. And once we tapped the Enroll button and used the code that Cass had provided to us, we were able to access the course that she had prepared for us to work on in this workshop. Once being accepted into her course, our iTunes library looked like this. And once again, you can see that we've toggled between library and catalogue, and we can now access the course that Cass provided to us, which was the 9D Linear Relationships course. Okay. Once we got onto the course provided by Cass, we were able to see the topics that she had set for her students in the left-hand side panel here, and for each topic, the posts that she had set. And the posts contain the learning materials, the tasks, and the assessments that the students will undertake as part of the course, the ItunesU course that Cass has created. We now have to move from our iOS devices to our laptop computers, or indeed any form of computer, so that we could take the role of a course instructor. or course manager, as it appears. And there was a few tasks to do to set ourselves up as a course manager. We had to obviously enter our personal details. We had to find and upload an identifying photograph, and ItunesU won't let you proceed as an instructor until you have that photograph uploaded. And then we were able to move into the stage of creating our first course. That was a matter of entering our course settings, which of course would include the basic things like a course name, a short name, the institution. Quite often, in most cases, the iTunes University already has your institution included in their drop-down menu, but there is an option to add an institution if that's not the case. The category, the subcategory, and the level are all quite straightforward. So we were able to go ahead then and move to the next stage of creating our first course. One of the important points at this stage was to understand the settings in terms of the privacy settings. And licensing setting. And the important points were that for most teachers beginning out on an iTunes University exploration, the type of course we want is self-paced, which allows students to move through in a self-paced manner, as opposed to in session where you would be delivering your materials live. And the other important point being the licensing type, which at this stage Cass has suggested to us all rights reserved. And we had discussions around the pros and cons of the different types of licenses that were offered by ItunesU, coming to the conclusion that for the beginner presenter like ourselves, all rights reserved was probably the option that was best suited to our needs. From there, we moved to actually creating the course, which was the most satisfying part perhaps, and this began by setting up the course structure using the button here, course outline, and to our course outline adding various topics that we were hoping to cover in the course. And as we'll see in a few minutes' time, for each topic we're going to add a number of posts, and it's the posts that contain the instructions, the information, and the links to learning materials for our students. So finally, we got to that phase of adding those materials, and this is basically what it looked like, that we were able to create a post within our topics, or a number of posts indeed within our topics, and for each of those posts we were able to add a set of instructions or information, and also importantly able to attach materials from your computer, from web links, or from the My Materials section, which happens to be a section of the ItunesU functionality where every time you add materials they are saved for you in My Materials, which I think might appear higher up here in this top menu. Here it is here. And later on, if any of those materials need to be accessed again for later posts or for different courses, they are there and available to you. So that's basically where we got up to. Those courses will then be able to be published. Now, they are not published to the ItunesU catalogue available publicly through the App Store, but only available to students that you provide the course code to. So at this stage they're quite a private construction. So thanks, Cass. It was a fantastic session. I think it got us all thinking about not only how we could make up an ItunesU course, but also the power of this sort of structure to help us to really develop a truly blended type of learning environment that I guess we're striving for with our ICT capabilities. The session was enjoyed by all and was very valuable.